Welcome to Inside the Female Mind, the podcast that examines how and why women do the things they do.
The Inside the Female Mind podcast is a roundtable discussion with a goal of going beyond assumptions. I'm Dr. Sinatra.
I'm Jasmine Butler, and we'll be your host as we convert survey data into insight. As Father's Day approaches, or as I've heard on Twitter, Facebook Armageddon approaches, we see conversations popping up about everything from the joys of fatherhood to the pain of abandonment. One of the most fascinating things about humans is the power and impact a parent can have, for better or worse. Daddy issues, for example, which is the topic of today's roundtable, can be attributed to the pain felt and actions taken due to something their father did or didn't do. This week, I wanted to share one of our Inside the Male Mind after shows. Our all-female roundtable opens up about daddy issues, how it impacts dating, and more. I was joined via Google Hangout by Jaleesa, Shantia, and Sierra. Daddy issues. What do you think of people who say that daddy issues are automatically attached to dating someone significantly older?
It's not automatic. Like, I dated older guys and my father wasn't around, but my father died when I was a baby. So it's not like I yearned for a father figure because I never had it. I think that daddy issues sometimes is a factor, but it's definitely not automatic because I didn't date older guys because I yearned for a father. I never yearned for a father.
So it wasn't like a gap that wasn't...
No, it was just older guys were just more clear about how they felt. It just wasn't a game. I don't like games. Games drive me crazy. They always have.
But I feel like it's slightly related where, for me, I went through a lot of stuff with my family. Like, not just my father, just like my mother. She's crazy. But a lot of it was, I didn't know, when she said this, did she mean it? When she did this, did she... It was always like I had to question her feelings towards me. So as I got older, I wanted to be with somebody that when I felt like when they said something, that it meant something.
You were craving certainty.
Certainty. It wasn't like I went for older guys. In a sense, it was just I want a person, even when I was married before, my husband was very like, boom, 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 boom.
We have so much in common, Sierra.
Yeah, I got engaged at 15. I got married at 18 years old. Everything that he said, I didn't have to question it. So I don't have daddy issues. I got people issues. Everybody can get it. Yeah.
She honestly might have a point with that. I can relate to the family aspect. So I can easily say like, no, I didn't miss my father, but I did probably miss the certainty of love, what it felt like. So more than it is daddy issues, maybe it's just issues with not being loved. And then when somebody shows that and it's clear and it's concise and you don't have to question it, you attach yourself to that.
There you go. I can count on my hands how many times my mom has told me she loves me. Now, I believe that she loves me, but it's how do I feel? How do you make me feel? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can say a bunch of shit. And with older men, or with the guy that I'm with now, I don't have to think at all. Like, he can look at me straight in my face and say, I love you, and that's it. I can say, babe, I need you here right now. I'm going through some stuff. Right? He will get on the plane, drop anything he has to do, and come out there to see me. And those things matter because I don't know if my mom would do that shit. I don't know if I said, Mama, I need you right now. If she'd be like, hold up, well, wait a minute. I got some shit to do. I'll come out next week. Mm-hmm. And that's the difference, you know?
My point is probably a lot different from everybody's. I mean, my father was around. I'm actually in his house right now. But, I've always wanted to meet a man who's like my dad in the sense that he's a really great guy. He's smart. My father's a lawyer. He's attractive everywhere I go. It's like women are like, that's your man? I'm like, nah, that's my dad.
That's crazy.
But at the same time, my father is someone who had fiancés but girlfriends at the same time. All of my uncles, my grandfather, they all have everybody's married. But they all got about 7 different side children and
that's stressful.
Yes.
But I have a question for you, Jaleesa. How would you feel if your dad married someone that was only a few years older than you?
I mean, well, what's funny is my father's not into younger women, so I already know that wouldn't happen. But I guess I would be absolutely shocked because my father, for someone who likes a lot of women and
let's just tell all his business.
That's right. I mean, hey, but that's what I'm saying. That's why it's so confusing because he's such a great, wonderful dude. But so there's that conflict. I want a dude that's going to love me and treat me really well. But I also want somebody who's going to be faithful to me. I don't know.
Does that taint your view of a man being able to be faithful because you saw it so firsthand? Like, does it ruin your trust in men at all?
It does, and that's always been my conflict, is like, do I really care? Like, I know you love me and you're here for me and I'm your only one, but you still having sex with this person. I would want somebody who's going to be faithful to me, but if you're going to cheat on me, that needs to be a non-existence, okay? Like, I don't want to know.
You don't want to know?
No,
See,
I don't want to know.
I don't have problems with cheating. I do not have issues with a guy. No.
Define it. Define cheating.
Okay, let me explain. Cheating is when a man has sex with a woman and doesn't tell you about it. Because of what I went through as a kid, I need to know. Like, if you fucked her, you need to come to me and say, baby, I fucked her.
Well, that's still cheating. That's unless you're talking about an open relationship. That's something different.
It's not, though, because I feel like the reasons why a lot of people break up is not because of the cheating, it's because of the trust.
Isn't that one and the same? The deception?
Yes and no. I feel like at the end of the day, if you're willing to go ahead and sleep with a woman and you're man enough to do that, you're man enough to tell me that you did it. If I question you about it and you tell me, no, baby, I didn't do it, and then I find out that it's a lie, now we have a problem.
Okay, if he says that it's the truth, does that mean that it's over for you?
No.
Why? That sounds so disrespectful.
Because I had this conversation with my father, and he said that guys cheat, but it has nothing to do with the woman so much as it has to do with men like new stuff. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean they love you less.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
I don't agree.
Just saying. Look, why is it that these niggas can still have babies at 90 years old? That is what men do. It's the bottom line.
I don't believe that all men cheat. I know that I don't personally date guys that cheat. I've never been cheated on. And I know it's easy to be like, oh, well, what you don't know, but no. I personally think that people get away with what you allow them to get away with. Yeah. A man will date you forever if you allow him to, and never make the move to make you his wife. But if you say from the beginning, look, these are my standards. If you don't like it, move on. I am going to be someone's wife. I'm not going to be someone's baby mother. I'm not going to be, then they get away with what you allow them to get away with. So if you're like, yeah, this is how I view cheating, then this,
no.
In my opinion.
Okay, think about when we're kids, right? Why we thought smoking was cool or drinking was cool, because it was something that we couldn't do. If you say to a man, you want to go fuck somebody? All right, go ahead. You want to do it? A lot of the times when I tell a guy that, they're like, no, I don't really think that's really what I want to do. It's weird how we think about that. It's like mind manipulation, kind of fucked up. But cheating is not the biggest thing for me. It just isn't.
What's worse than that?
It's the lies.
That's one and the same.
To me, it's one and the same. I have a really vivid imagination, so I could never see in my mind like you being intimate with someone else or doing the things that we do. Like, it makes me sick to my stomach.
But guys can turn off the emotion and just
it doesn't matter. Listen,
it does. That does. That's the biggest part. Is, are you fucking her with the same emotion that you're fucking me? Now we have a problem. But if you're
don't fuck her at all, don't be with her.
You guys owe money to the swear jar.
Sorry.
I'm like, how do y'all know Jasmine? Nobody sound like they know Jasmine, all this cursing and shit.
I don't mind cursing.
She's always been like, yeah.
I say curses sometimes.
I've always been the
Shut up. It's not that funny. Shut up, Jaleesa. I do.
No, you don't.
No, not really.
I believe that everybody has their own opinion based on their own journeys, based on their own experiences. That's why we're all on this call, because we're not going to necessarily agree, because we bring a different perspective to the table. So right. I do respect your opinion about cheating and everything. I just don't agree, and I couldn't personally deal with it. I can't even deal with suspecting. I try not to pry, so I don't go in phones and emails. But if I don't have the passwords, then I can't even know. Like, no. It makes me feel safe. If I feel safe, I'm good. I don't question you. I don't need to go in it.
So you have trust issues, but what makes you feel safe?
Honestly, I have all the passwords. I don't need to use them. I don't need to.
Why do you even need to have the passwords?
To know that she can use them.
We're an open book. I'm an open book. You're an open book.
So you think that a guy, this is what I'm saying, because my husband was like that. I'm telling you. Jasmine knows I knew everything about everything. I knew all the passwords. That didn't mean shit.
I've never dated a guy who I suspected of cheating. If your phone is ringing and I'm like, oh, babe, let me see your phone real quick. And you like, oh, this is not going to work.
But where did that come from?
I can openly admit that based on what I experienced in my childhood and my abandonment issues is where my trust comes from. I learned from my younger self, like that didn't feel good. So I never chased anything that made me feel similar to how I felt as a child. So if anything feels unsafe, if I feel like you could be lying or cheating or deceiving me, I don't want nothing to do with it. I run. I give guys a 1 to 3 month period to make me feel safe without me opening up and taking down the walls. And if I don't feel safe within that period, I know that that's a billboard sign and I walk away.
I relate to you so much because for so long, I was so afraid of being hurt that I never let anybody in and I never accepted love. Because I've been through so much hurt, I tried to find things that made this person not okay just because I didn't want to be vulnerable and I didn't want to be hurt. So it's that same thing. You have to allow yourself to be hurt in some way in order for you to grow and to really feel true love.
I've been in a relationship for 3 years. So I think I have gotten to a point where I'm not running. My view is still my view, but I'm past that point. I promise. I'm in love and I feel so safe.
All right.
I want to feel safe.
Feel safe.
Sorry.
That's not funny.
I want to feel safe too.
I'm so thankful that you guys were able to come and be involved in the Google Plus, but also be as open as you were.
I wish Jaleesa got to talk more. She has some strong personality.
Light-skinned and just overpowered the whole conversation. We've been I'm sorry.
What's funny is I was going to talk about my theory that I've recently had lately about men and their emotions and their lack of being able to control their emotions, their he emotions, as I like to call it. This guy I was just talking to recently who couldn't get over the fact that I had taken the power in the relationship. He didn't like that. He would text me and ask me things, and I'd be like, nah.
Like that, though?
No, but, I was like, man, I'm good. And he'd be like, why you ain't hit me up? And I'm like, because I was having fun. Like, I wasn't thinking about you. And he didn't know how to handle his emotions. And I feel like lately all these dudes that I've been meeting who are, like, in their mid to late 20s, they don't know what the fuck to do with their emotions.
I wonder if it's I don't want to stereotype, but what's the difference between men from the South and men from the North, in your opinion? Because I think I come across as maybe, I don't want to say headstrong, but I'm very certain when I talk. I don't know if I come across as aggressive. And I've seen that be a turnoff for people like in Atlanta.
We're both Aquarians, Jasmine. So if there's any headstrongness, we could say it's because of that.
Interesting.
We should totally do this every other week.
And that's this week's Roundtable. Big thanks to all the participants in the Inside the Male Mind after show, because that's pretty much what gave birth to this podcast. It was really fun, and definitely look forward to having those ladies back. As always, like the Facebook page, facebook.com/InsideTheFemaleMind, or respond to something someone said on the episode by tweeting us at ITFemaleMind. And also, if you like the show, don't forget to leave reviews and share with all your friends, male and female. And we'll see you next time.